And welcome to our final presentation for software testing QA. My name is Ibrahima and I did this with DeWalker. We chose to write our project in C# using Blazor Server Framework. We used NUnit for our unit testing and we used Playwright for our end-to-end testing. For the architecture of this project, we have one entire solution, and in that we have 4 separate projects. We have Calculator Engine, which has all the mathematical operations such as addition and subtraction. The results are computed here and all the logic is captured here. We have Calculator App, which is the web UI. We also wrote HTML and CSS code for the layout and styling of the page. This project is dependent on Calculator Engine. Whenever the user clicks a button for A plus B, the logic is referenced from Calculator Engine, and that's where the result is taken from. We also have Calculator Engine unit test that's also dependent on Calculator Engine. For the unit tests, we're testing it with these methods. Calculator end-to-end test is not dependent on anything. It implicitly speaks with the web UI. As you can see here, we have Calculator App and Calculator Engine unit tests are both dependent on Calculator Engine, while Calculator Engine is not dependent on anything itself. We can take a look at the UI. Calculator App is the name of the entire solution, and there's also a project called Calculator App. So I'm going to cd into that. .NET run. It's going to build and give us a URL back to paste to another tab. And here we are, we have our calculator right here. We can do different operations with it. It's going to give us the result: equality, exponent, log, root. For example, if we tried to do 5 divided by 0, it would tell us that it's not a number, that this is not something that's possible to do. We can do operations using A only. We can do the factorial of 5. We can do the factorial of -5. If we try to input text into here, it would not work. It would tell us that this is invalid input. Only numbers are allowed. This calculator works with floating point operations. Yeah. And we can clear it and go back to the original state. Now let's take a look at our unit tests. So we can cd out of this directory, change directories into calculator engine unit test, .NET test, because they're unit tests. And as you can see, 45 of our unit tests have successfully passed. We have reached 100% coverage for all of these unit tests that we wrote. And just to show you a quick example of what one unit test looks like, we use arrange, act, and assert. So we would range the numbers. We would perform what we believe the expected sum to be, and we have a result that captures what the calculator logic actually spits out. And we can access this because it's a static method. This is directly from calculator logic. And we assert that the expected sum and this result are equal to each other. If it was something dividing by 0 or something that causes an error, like division by 0, for example, we would arrange the two numbers and capture the result by calling this method, and we would assert that an error is true. An error does occur. Alright, so we can now take a look at the calculator end-to-end tests that we wrote using Playwright, and we can run these tests as well. And as you can see, 5 of our end-to-end tests have successfully passed, which is great. Here's one example of the playwright test. We have a string called page title, which has calculator as its string. We would go to the page, this URL, and we would expect the page to have its title set to the string, which is calculator, and it passes successfully. And here's another one where some sort of error would have to occur. We go to this page. First you want to reload because you don't want previous tests to interfere with what you're currently testing. So you reload the page. Go to this URL. You input 3 into text box A, or the first input, and then you click the box. But this would clicking A times B requires you have inputs for A and B, not only A. So it should return invalid input, numbers only. You would expect that to be visible on the page somewhere. For example, if I came here and did 3, it should tell me invalid input, numbers only. And this test also ran successfully. So that is our project. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.